2014.
Right.
I need my young men to be young men.
Absolutely.
Right? We need if you hear me out there, all right, you need your fathers start acting like fathers, man.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think people understand how much control black men have in America.
Right.
Well, I mean that
Right.
it's the simple fact that people emulate us. Other cultures emulate us. They dress how we dress.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So that being said, we need to set better examples because people are watching, man.
Right.
Set better examples for ourselves, for our kids, for our cousins, for our brothers, for
Right.
our sisters. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you on that.
So say something. That's all I have to say.
Tay said say something. I mean, you know, I couldn't agree with you more, man. It's, you know, a lot of times, especially like in the music business, you know, or in the rap industry per se, we feel like we're not role models when we truly are role models. You know what I'm saying? And we need to step up to the plate and be responsible, man, for leading our youth, leading the ones that are gonna take care of us down the line. You know, we need to step up. We need to set the example. And you know, we need to fill that void. You know, just because we didn't have someone to teach us how to do this thing doesn't mean that we shouldn't be striving and learning and seeking on ways to better ourselves and better our children for their future.
Because what I see is this: our generation. Yeah, the thing is, we have to have leaders. Where are our?
Right.
We don't have any MLKs. We got Obama, but we don't have any MLKs. We don't have any Jesse Jacksons. We don't have any. What's the name of the parent? Al Sharpton. When these folks die, who gonna take charge, bro?
Right.
Who gonna be the person to step up? And the thing, it can be anybody. It can be any one of us.
Right.
But I do so interested in smoking weed and popping pills and all this other stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where there's more to it than that. There's more to life than that. You know what I'm saying? There's more to life than that. And somebody, us, it can be you, it can be me, it can be anybody. Somebody gotta take the charge, bro.
And it's going. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I say, you know, about us is that I feel like we already are stepping up to the plate doing that. You know, that doesn't mean that doesn't give us a right to slack off or anything. That just means we need to go hard at what we're doing.
Exactly.
But I think also, you know, we really need to be mindful of what the media does. You know what I'm saying, with the rap culture and the music. Right. They put like we are our own problem in a lot of senses, simply because of who the media puts in front of the television screen for us to like really fall back and take notes from and to watch and to mimic. These are not guys that are trying to do something to better their community for the most part, other than to say that they're doing it to sell more records.
Right.
They doing it simply because, you know what I'm saying, like they're not doing it, like what I'm saying is that their heart is not in it for the right reasons. A lot of times, you know, a lot of these guys do it for show or to sell more records. And I think that when we do that, we actually sell our youth short.
So somebody who I spoke to who's much smarter than me, who has more years of experience in life than me, said, all right, so you're 20 years old. At 20 years old, that's through your early childhood and teenage years, that's time for you to learn about yourself, grow a little bit. Right. By the time you're 30, you should have some idea what you're trying to do.
Absolutely.
At 30 years old, what do you have to show for being 30 years old? Having a kid is one thing, that's fine. But what do you have to show that you're on this earth at 30 years old outside of a kid? Do you have a house? Do you have a car? Do you have any kind of thing that's going? At 40 years old, what do you have to show that you were here for 40 years? Right. When you die, there should be something here that says that person was here. Right. Something. You gotta leave some kind of legacy. And your legacy hopefully won't be that he was in jail for most of his life. Right. He killed a couple of folks. He sold a couple of things. Yeah. Your legacy, I mean, if that's what you do, then by all means. Yeah. But don't let that be your legacy, man.
Yeah. That, you, like I say, man, you have to. The thing is you should want, you know, your future generation to do better than what you have done thus far. You know what I'm saying? Like my son, I want to see my son do. I want to see him do better than me. Right. You know, we just really have to take the time and show interest in our youth to get them to that point. You know what I'm saying? Because right now it's like the blind leading the blind, and it's our own fault because we're not taking the time to nurture and to raise them the way that a lot of us 80s babies were raised. You know, so, you know, without that, you know, the Generation X, they lost because they don't have anybody to show them the way. And some people's really scared to show them the way because they crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them crazy. A lot of them really, you know, because of a lack of training or a lack of someone being there, is so far gone left. They are so far gone left field on whether it be drugs or caught up in their problems or whatever, that is really dangerous dealing with them. You know, and that that accounts for a vast majority of them. You know, so we got to do what we can, man. You know, we can't continue to let the cycle move in that direction.
So if, as a young black man speaking to whoever you're speaking to, what would you tell another black male to do in order to be successful as far as making wise decisions, that kind of stuff? What would you tell a young black man, say a dude 16, 15, 16 years old? What would you tell him?
Well, I mean, you know, I think before I tell them anything, I want them to know that, you know, a lot of the things that they have been through or the things that they have gone through in their life, you know, to give me the credibility that I'm gonna need to speak to them, I would relate to them.
Right.
You know, I can talk to them about, you know, being locked up and doing some of the things that they have done in their life.
Right.
And I can talk to them about doing everything wrong under the sun. But, you know, until you start to do the right things by people and until you get God involved in your life, you know, it's gonna be,
say it one more time.
until you got God in your life, it's gonna be a struggle with whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So I think the main thing is, you know, if you really, really, really want to see a change in your life, then you have to do things that constitute change. You know, and that's going to involve you dealing with the source of all things that are good in order for any good to come of what you're doing. So, you know, like I said, I'm not on the soapbox. I ain't preaching to nobody, nothing like that. But
it's not
I'm just saying.
It's not about soapbox. It's not about preaching. Yeah. What it is if I've been through something and I know I see you head the same way I've been.
Right.
I can tell you, look, that ain't where you want to go, man.
Right.
You need to think about that.
Absolutely.
Because I know what's gonna lead you to.
You know, when I talk to young people all the time, man, or people younger than me, I'm young myself, but people that are younger than me, you know, the first thing I try to do is I suggest. I don't try to tell them nothing because, like, I remember when I was that age. The first thing that happened, somebody tried to tell me something like, man, look, man, I don't want to hear this, man.
Right.
You know, I automatically wanted to go in the opposite direction of what somebody was saying.
Right.
So it's like, okay, now I can suggest to you and I can get, what I want you to know when I talk to you is that you have an option other than to continue to do the things that you have learned on your own or the habits that you've picked up on your own,
right?
Because no one's taking the time to teach you. You don't have that excuse after you talk to me.
Exactly.
Because I told you right. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not going to tell anybody something wrong.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Simply because I don't want to block my blessing trying to tell somebody wrong. I got to give an account for that. You know, that's not me.
And the thing is, somebody had to teach you.
Right.
Right? Somebody tried to teach you, right? So in turn, this knowledge is not even your knowledge probably. It's something that somebody's passed down to you.
You know what I would say, Tate, man? I would say that I'm blessed, man, because I'm in a category that a lot of these other guys are in.
Okay.
Meaning, a lot of these things I wasn't taught, man. It's just the grace of God, bro, that I'm where I'm at doing what I'm doing. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
life experience.
It's life experiences, man. Like, I've bumped my head enough times to know, man, and I'm still living. By grace, and that's why I'm able to really tell people, you know, you don't have to be taught certain things, but in the fact that you weren't taught certain things is still not an excuse for you to go out and fail and do the things that you do.
Right.
You still have to want to learn, and if you want to learn, all I'm saying is if you want to learn, I'm giving you another option, man. I'm giving you really the best option in my opinion. Right. As a OG, as a brother. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can do.
And the thing is, man, people have to understand there is a way out. Troubles don't last.
Yeah.
Troubles don't last always.
Never.
You know what I'm saying? You might not be able to see the light in the tunnel right now.
Yeah.
But there's always a light somewhere. Yeah. And it's somewhere.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when I'm back to the full circle, sometimes it takes us
right.
to be that light. To be that light.
Yeah.
And that's just not just black males, not just males in general, just people in general, man.
People.
Because you see the same thing with the females. The females that respect yourself, you know. Man, people nowadays do anything for a like on Instagram, for a like on Facebook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they'll take.
You speaking the truth though. You know
what I'm saying? And this is something people don't really want to talk about because they feel like, man, I'm just turning up. I'm just, you know, Man, look, forget that. Folks don't understand anything you put on the internet is there forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can delete the picture off of
Public
Instagram.
record, man. You know.
You can delete the picture off of Instagram, off of Facebook, but it's still up.
It's still there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, you got girls giving fellatio on camera. I showed you earlier on the phone, man.
Yeah.
Like, on Facebook. Like, what the world is this? On Facebook.
Crazy.
On Facebook.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that young lady now has to live with the fact that you get this video
Forever.
Yeah. Don't, I mean, because if you try to run for president, it's over. They got this video you giving.
Man, you know, that's a whole nother conversation, man. But the way the NSA, the way Eric Snowden and this NSA stuff is going down, bro, is like crazy to me, man. But I mean, yeah, the fact still remains that it's there forever.
Yeah. So back to wise decisions.
Yeah.
As being young, it's okay to make mistakes. You're gonna have to make mistakes when you're young. But at the same time, I try to stress. Just be wise enough to don't make any mistakes that's gonna haunt you forever and a day.
Yeah.
Don't go out there and make 4 or 5 babies at 17, 18 years old.
Yeah. Not
realizing you gotta live with this your whole life. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right, man. I mean,
don't go out there and if you're gonna go out there and have sex, protect yourself. Don't go out there and catch nothing when you 15, 16 years old.
Don't catch nothing you can't wash off with soap and water. That's real though.
But you understand what I'm saying? You gotta make sure you wise about it, because now the decision you made at 15, 16 years old is the decision you gotta live with forever and a day. And now you're gonna have to go through your life and try to figure out how I'm gonna tell my wife or tell my future husband that I did this at 15, 16 years old, and now I'm bringing this to them.
Man.